John's going to be talking today about why you should consult your mortgage advisor, why you should consult your loan originator before making any big financial decisions.
Correct.
And it's something that people don't think about often, but I think that's really great that you brought that up.
Especially when you're in the process of doing a loan with your loan originator, or even way before, or just some advice on how to save money. You know, and the number one reason is we're free. You know, you don't have to pay us anything for advice. The hard thing is finding the difference between a good loan officer and a great loan officer.
Yeah.
So I wanted to break down some of my situations that I've had over my 11 years as being a loan officer with only 2 different companies. And I had so many flashbacks of how I've helped people save $2,200 a month, $1,200, $180 a month, and how it affects their life and the feeling they have when they have a month off of making payments, or they purchased their home and they couldn't believe they qualified, or we got them into a position. It took us 2 years to get them into a position to qualify. So the difference between a good loan officer is that there are thousands of good loan officers. They have to be good because of the training, and the CFPB is, right behind your back, making sure you're a good loan officer. So there's thousands of them in Rhode Island, in Massachusetts, and worldwide. But they'll give you cliches. They sound good. They'll get you from A to B to closing, and you'll probably never speak with them again because there was just some link missing. Either it's trust, or you had to ask 1,000 questions, and they said, let me get back to you. Let me get you back, or they didn't get back to you, or the follow-up. Where either way, you still closed your loan. You're happy with the service. They did it. They got you the closing. Are you going to refer them out? Are you really, truly going to refer them out to your friends and family? That's the difference between a great loan officer. A great loan officer has the experience, has his own mortgage, has had many mortgages, and maybe even has kids that the kids are killing them with the debt. Experience will go a long way. But my point here is a great loan officer actually cares about you. And that's the difference. I will turn people away and explain why I wouldn't refinance, where a good loan officer is all about the buck. Gotta close. They have managers telling them. That's why I love the freedom at Semper Home Loans. They give me the freedom because they trust me that I'm going to do the right thing, and we're not going to lose our license. And it's still a thrill for me to save people money and to get them their first house, or their second or their third house, where, if you're just on autopilot, that's a good loan officer. If you go the extra mile where you actually answer your phone, get them the answers they need, they're not asking you a ton of questions with the exception of, anything engineering or electrical. They analyze everything. You're going to get questions there. Just get used to it, But other than that, if you're giving them all the information up front, like here's an example. They called me, this couple from Jersey, saying, hey, we want to refinance again. I'm like, okay, let's do the application. We know where you live. We know where your money is in the bank. We know if you have a good enough 401k. We see all this on the application. It's like reading a palm. If you can predict the history there by having 7 years of payment history on your credit report. So when I have all this in place, I'll add up just their credit cards.
Yep.
That's the unfortunate thing. I mean, to have decent credit, you have to have credit.
Yeah.
And it's a catch-22, right? And they just happen to have kids in college. Their credit is way up there. So I just did the math. They have $20,000 in credit card debt that they're paying $600 a month. And then if they get a $20,000 personal loan, yeah, it's a crappy rate, but it's unsecured. They don't have to pay closing costs in a refinance. They already have a great rate from 2 years ago. Why refinance? Go get a personal loan, as long as you can trust yourself not to jack up your credit cards again. And I know these people will jack up their credit cards again. So we sat down and we broke down, okay, pay $50 extra towards this one a month. You'll be debt-free in 6 months. Take that $50. So that's the type of service you get from somebody who actually cares, instead of just refinancing and eating up their equity. And then they're going to be in the same position in 2 years. So they have to get control of it in some way. And that's where it's fun for me. the other thing too is I know the alternative lending programs out there.
Yep.
I know what we have to offer, and I know them like the back of my hand, but I know what's available to you out there. So if it doesn't make sense for you to go through me or my products that I have, and you need a certain product, I know which one puts you in harm's way, which one is, depending on if you want to fix or flip. Do I do hard money? Hard money is good for fix or flip, where there's stated income, stated assets out there again. And the rate's not too bad. And a lot of self-employed people have no choice, and then they can refinance in 2 years or 3 years once they do show enough income. So they can get that property that they want. That's, passive income monthly for investment. So that's the difference, of a good loan officer and a great loan officer. They're going to sit and know everything available to you out there.
Yeah.
Business lines of credit, where to go for that kind of thing.
And I think one of the biggest things too is that you're looking for that long-term relationship, as are we. So we want clients to call us not only when they need to list and sell or when they want to buy, but we want them to call us, even if they're 3 or 4 or 5 years away from that, to ask us for advice on what to do. All right, so John, where should we, in the next couple of years, we're thinking about buying a new car. Should we do that? What range should we be in if we want to shop in this area? And while you can't guess what the rates are going to be, you can keep them updated with that information and also help guide them with the financial advice that a lot of people should take a look at. You know a lot about taxes. You know a lot about, obviously, income and qualifications, about credit. I mean, like you said, and you're almost like a free, we can't call you a financial advisor, but
No.
Realistically, it's like free advice. Why would you not take that?
Right. Yeah. Don't come to me with investment advice. I'm not going to give
Mary
you go
Brimer.
buy IBM. That's Mary Brimer, or even credit counseling. I'm not even supposed to give credit and guidance out there. You'd have to be a credit counselor for that. But I know what how to fix things on your credit report, and I know where to go to get things removed. That's when you would go see a credit counselor, which we were discussing off the air recently. So if I were you, if you don't have the feeling and you're in process that this person that is your loan officer doesn't have your back and your best interest at heart, change. There's thousands of loan officers out there, literally like 10,000 loan officers in Rhode Island. So find the one that you can stick with over the years. I've been doing this 11 years, and there's nothing like a repeat customer, and their situation. It comes back to you like that, and you know their kids' names, and if they're heading towards college. You can predict the future by seeing their whole credit profile, and it's funny when they do call you back, and hopefully they're in a better position than they were 2 years, 3 years ago.